They say you can't run from your past. But what if you could build a brand new future with your own hands? In a secluded mountain corner, one man is trying to do just that. But will the foundations he's laying down accidentally unearth the very things he's trying to bury? Every inch of soil he turns is not just the beginning of a home. It is a farewell. A farewell to concrete, to the never-ending noise. And to the man he used to be. The ancient forest doesn't demand to know who he is. It only demands honesty in every piece of wood he fells. Each swing of the axe is a heartbeat, in sync with the rhythm of the forest. And in this silence, he begins to hear a long-forgotten language. The language of creation. The skeleton of a home slowly takes shape. Not from blueprints, but from instinct. The instinct to find a safe haven. A door not meant to shut the world out, but to open a world of his own. Here, even the smallest detail has a purpose. This chimney is not just for smoke. It is the breath of the house. And when the first job is done, he doesn't just see a structure. He sees a part of himself, standing solidly on the ground for the very first time. Sometimes, to build something new, you need a companion. Someone who understands that silence is also a language. Together, they give the home a new coat. A pristine white coat amidst the deep green of the forest. Like a promise of a pure beginning. The strength of these two men is not just in their muscles. It's in the shared rhythm of their axes, echoing and determined. They are carving out a future from what nature has provided. Inside, the world is being reshaped. The floor is not just a place to walk. It is the foundation for dreams yet to be cultivated. And sometimes, a four-legged friend is the most loyal witness. It doesn't judge. It is simply there, sharing in the peace. Comfort doesn't come from walls. It comes from these silent, shared moments. The structure is complete. But the man's journey has only just truly begun. Because a house only becomes a home when there is fire. Fire is the heart, the center of life. And he is preparing to light that heart. The self-made stove, a metal heart. It needs a solid foundation, just like his own life. These bricks are not just for insulation. They are a promise of lasting warmth. He works meticulously, for he understands that the safety of a home depends on the smallest things. And then, the first flame bursts to life. It doesn't just warm the space. It warms the man's soul. In the light of the fire, he finds contentment and sees the reflection of a new life. Now, inside this sanctuary, there is no room for loneliness. Only companionship. Between a man and his loyal friend. The forest is no longer a strange place. It has become his home turf. A home without fences, yet safer than any other place. Because it is protected by harmony. Harmony between human creation and the eternity of nature. Once the shelter is secure, a man starts to think of comfort. He doesn't just build a bed. He is creating a place to rest after a hard day's work. A place for dreams to take flight. And when night falls, the creation doesn't stop. From a lifeless piece of wood, he carves objects that carry the soul of the forest. This isn't work, it's a conversation. Between his hands and the grain of the wood. He learns to listen to the story each piece of wood wants to tell. And he responds with patience and skill. The house is now not just for humans. It welcomes the tiny creatures of the forest as well. A small act of sharing. Is an invisible bond to the world around him. He doesn't just take from the forest. He also gives back. Planting a new life is planting a new hope for the future. And then, winter arrives. Bringing the bitter cold and a new test. His creation now faces its harshest challenge. But inside, the fire still burns. A warm ember that defies the freezing winter. The man doesn't fight the winter. He learns to live with it. He reinforces his home, not with fear, but with understanding. He knows that to survive the darkness, you need to create your own light. The wooden shelves are not just for storage. They organize a new life, neat and purposeful. Everything is put in its place. Just as he is finding his own place in this world. The roof is reinforced once more. No detail is redundant. Because in the struggle for survival, prudence is your best companion. And then the snow falls. Blanketing the entire forest, transforming it into another world. Strangely silent. But inside the small wooden house, life goes on. Winter is not an end. It is a time for contemplation. A time for the fire in the hearth to tell its stories. And the smoke rises like a signal sent to the sky. That life still resiliently exists here. When winter passes, the forest is reborn. And so is the man. He no longer builds just to survive. He builds to create beauty. His hands no longer just hold an axe. They hold knives, chisels, turning rough pieces of wood into works of art. A table is crafted, not for work, but to sit down and contemplate. To contemplate the fruits of his persistence. And to contemplate the beauty of a simple life. He has found his peace, not in a faraway place, but right here, where he built with his own hands. The forest doesn't just provide wood. It also hides secrets underground. To live in harmony, he must learn to listen. To listen to what the naked eye cannot see. He doesn't hunt, he forages. He takes what nature generously offers. The earthen oven, a cooking method of his ancestors. A meal here is not just for sustenance. It is a ritual of gratitude. After taking, he gives back to the earth. Concealing all traces, as if he was never there. That is the highest form of respect. And then, he begins a new journey. Building another shelter, lighter, more flexible. As if he too has become more flexible in his mind. He no longer needs sturdy wooden walls. What he needs now is a canopy, enough to protect, but also enough to blend in with nature. A new lesson is learned. Strength doesn't always come from solidity. Sometimes it comes from the ability to bend with circumstances. He starts a new project closer to the earth. Not a house, but a nest, woven from the branches of the forest itself. This time, he doesn't just dig soil for a foundation. He digs soil to wear the coat of the forest. Green moss, soft and ancient. It is the skin of Mother Earth. He gathers them, not as a builder, but as a child, learning to drape himself in the warmth of Mother Nature. Each piece of moss, each handful of soil, is plastered onto the branch wall. The boundary between the structure and nature begins to blur. Soon, this house will no longer be an alien object. It will become part of the hill, part of the forest. And when the fire is lit, it feels as if the heart of the forest itself is beating. Inside this cozy nest, he finds a peace even deeper than before. The peace of completely belonging to a place. He is no longer a guest. He is part of the landscape. Life now follows a different rhythm. The rhythm of the sun, of hunger, and of endless creation. Meals are not bought from the market. They are found in the generosity of the earth. Every wild herb is a gift. A reminder that to survive, sometimes you just need to look down at your feet. Even preparing firewood becomes a ritual, demanding focus and respect. He has learned that everything has value. Nothing is superfluous in the cycle of nature. And by the fire, he prepares his meal. A simple meal, yet perhaps more nourishing than any delicacy. Because it contains the flavor of freedom. A very special thank you to the owner of the YouTube channel Lux and Bushcraft for creating this wonderful video and allowing me to comment. If you enjoyed this narrative, please visit and support their channel at the link in the description below.